who went to her father complaining, "Life is always so difficult for me. It's a never-ending journey of problems. Will this ever come to an end? I'm tired, I'm frustrated, every single day is a challenge." The father listened. Being a chef, he took the daughter to the kitchen. She patiently waited to hear him and looked at what he was doing. He took 3 pots and put water into it, waiting for it to boil. When it started boiling, in the first one, he put potatoes. In the second pot, he put eggs. And in the third one, he put coffee beans. Again, they waited 20 minutes. The girl was getting very, very impatient. Finally, the father switched all 3 stoves off and said to her, "Can you come forward and tell me what you see?" Very impatiently, she's like, "Dad, potatoes, eggs, and coffee." He says, "Look carefully. Take the potato out, touch it. Tell me what you feel." She's like, "It feels soft." The next one, she takes the egg out. It feels hard. And the third one, he ladled out himself and poured the coffee into the cup. She's like, "I still don't understand what you're trying to explain, Dad." He said, "It's very simple. All 3 were put into very adverse situations, difficult situations that you will be put into life. It is your choice to choose which one you want to be. The potatoes could not take the adversity. It boiled, and from hard, it became soft. It couldn't remain what it was. The egg, always very soft from the outside, became really hard, again, because it couldn't take the adversity. But the coffee did something very special. The coffee changed the water and made it something very beautiful. Take a sip." And the aromatic coffee made her smile. He said to her, "Which one would you like to be? Are you the potato, the egg, or the coffee who will fight the situation, change it to your advantage, and make it something beautiful? Which one would you like to be, if I may ask you, my audience? Potato, egg, coffee?"
I would like to be the one who gets to have that amazing breakfast.
Amazing breakfast. After Ramadan, I'll welcome you home and I'll prepare an American breakfast for you. Anybody would like to tell me, potato, egg, or coffee? Anyone? Okay, there are no coffee lovers in here? Right, so if I were asked this question, I have been put into situations so often that I feel strongly that I am a strong cup of coffee. And I can bring a smile on faces because we've learned through experience what needs to be done. And that's why we're here today, to share a lot with you, right? So, when you come on stage, the passion you come with, like Farhan was saying, you come totally prepared. You know what you want to deliver, you know what you want to do. You come with different items to showcase your research, to tell people you know what you want to tell them. You're going to prove a point, you're going to inspire, you're going to inquire, you're going to raise curiosity. When I was coming up here, I've been on stage ample of times, but I still felt the adrenaline rush. And that's your secret ingredient to giving a wonderful and remarkable speech. Someone mentioned about the adrenaline rush, wanting to skydive. By the way, it's the most beautiful experience because I have skydived and it's lovely. So if you need the adrenaline, you need to be up here. And when you come here, I know, oops, the stage. I know you're going to be nervous. It's going to be difficult, but just follow that adrenaline that's waiting to come up. It's somewhere in the pit of your tummy, which we call the butterflies in the stomach. But as you get comfortable on the stage, it just comes up with a force that is unstoppable. And that's exactly what you want. Now let me tell you what happened with me this afternoon before I could get here. And I was telling this to Farhan and to Shirin Bhai. I like organizing my way forward because I love keeping up with time. If I'm preaching it, I need to practice it. I tell my children at school, you need to be here on time. So I timed myself. I was supposed to meet Farhan a bit early. We needed to discuss something. 1:20 I left home knowing it takes me 10 minutes to get to Mayfield, and I had to meet him at 1:30. Started raining really heavily. So I had to plan and I left a little earlier. Come to the police station over here, there's water filled. My car goes inside a drainage. It had a cover on it, but my tire decided to play a game with me and picked the cover, and as I was driving forward, I realized I couldn't move. There's something dragging with me. Everybody runs towards the car, and I hate that kind of attention because I'm pathetic when it comes to cars, except for driving and parking and getting myself to places. Don't ask me what happens if the engine knocks off. I watch the gauge, the petrol gauge, because I don't want to get stuck on an E over there, but I don't know how to change a tire. I know what a jack looks like. I don't even know where it stays, so I have something to learn. So the cop standing over there is like, you need to stop. Otherwise, you're going to literally burst your tire. I'm like, okay, what do? He's like, you're driving, you're asking me. I said, yeah, because I don't know, so I'm inquiring. He's like, okay, stop, let me try and help you. In the meantime, comes another gentleman and another one, and there's 5 of them, and I'm really intimidated now. And they get into the water, very kind of them, and they take the whole thing out. Another gentleman is like, I don't know if you have a flat tire or not. I'm like, that's the last thing I need. He's like, just drive slow to where you need to go. Now, because I was already nervous, I was shaking, because I hate such situations, I missed the first parking right on the left, and I have to go around, and I'm like, Ya Allah, I hope I don't have a flat tire, I won't make it on time. So when I turned around, I finally find a parking. I parked the car, not realizing my phone was on my laps. I opened the door, step out, the phone fell down. I've cracked my screen. By the time I got here, I'm like, Farhan, it's a very bad start. I really don't know if I can do this. He's like, you not being able to do it? I'm like, wait, let me tell you what happened. He's like, listen, just take it as a blessing of Murphy's Law and move with it, because you need to share this experience on stage to allow the participants to know that you will plan your routine and your route in such a way that you're so confident, but here will come something dropping your way, unexpected, and you'll have to change things around. That's exactly what I did. And that's why I'm sharing this, because when he spoke about structure, he said, have a plan B ready. My plan B was simply to say, Farhan, we're late, we can't discuss, we just take it the way it comes. And that's exactly what we did. How did I start my session today? Anyone? What did I do as I was walking on stage? I narrated a story. Did I have all of you engaged? Were you all listening? Were you all curious to know what next? That's what you need to do when you want to engage your audience. You want to captivate their minds, and you want to make them so hungry that they want to know what next, right? Your openings as well. They need to be very mind-catching. It should be something, again, which makes people feel curious and they want to know more, rather than, oh, I've heard that, I don't want to listen to it again, right? So the pivotal moments of your presentation include your opening to capture attention and the end to leave an impact. So you can either start with an interactive activity, refer to a relevant current event, state an expert's opinion, like we spoke about Murphy's Law, create a mantra or a tagline. So those of you who know me, those of you who have heard me, I do have a tagline, which is, you were born to stand out and not to fit in. And that's exactly why all of you are here, by the way. And you can always ask a survey question when you come up here. Just a little bit of an advice that when you're choosing your topic that Farhan was talking about, you're selecting your message. Some messages or topics are very, very sensitive, especially when we talk about what's happening globally. It's nice to talk about things like, sorry, the only example that comes into my mind is about Gaza. It's very nice to talk about it, but just remember to have authentic facts, have your research in place, Do not say things that will offend someone or raise doubt. You want to deliver something, make sure of the authenticity and try not to trespass or tread over emotions and feelings. If you're confused of what kind of topic to select that can fall into that, talk, discuss, ask for suggestions, ask for advice. We're not going to choose for you, but we could give you rough ideas or options or suggestions that could lead you to choosing the correct topic for yourself, right? Ask people around you who know you that what are you really passionate about? What do they think you can really talk really well about? It could be anything, but the people you know will give you the true advice as to what your capacity is all about. So, rehearsal Farhan doesn't believe in because he's impromptu, right? For me, honestly speaking, Fatima, I'm sorry for this, but I only sent this to her like half an hour before I got here because I suffer the same problem. At home, I'm literally known as lastminute.com. I can't do this. So the way Farhan struggled and suffered, TEDx did the same thing to me. That was the first time ever in life that I rehearsed. I don't rehearse. And I went and there's this big red circle that I extend. I'm like, I can't. I need to move. If I don't move, I can't focus, I can't talk. But if I'm able to stand here today, it's exactly what he said because of TEDx. It taught me a lot. It pushed me out of my comfort zone. It made me realize my capacity that I could fit myself into any situation if I wanted to. And you very much can do the very same. Any situation. And that's what your last final round is going to be about, right? The topics may not be something you even know or not something of your interest or maybe just aligned with it, but you will be out of your comfort zone trying to research and think of ways of presenting it. So, practice, which Farhan already mentioned, record, ask someone to record you when you're talking about the speech that you've put together or the talk that you've put together or your content, I'd rather say. I don't like how the word speech sounds because I think, oh, speech boring. Talk, we talk a lot, your content, okay? Mirror, as a child I used to love the mirror. I could look at the mirror anytime and just start my hand actions and talking. People around me would think I'm a maniac, I'm going crazy, but that was just me. I think a lot of us just like the mirror, not to see how beautiful or good looking we are, but just to look at what our body is all about, how we can talk, how we can impact someone. Okay? Your audience. If you have friends in the public, ask them to be your audience for you. Ask your family members to be your audience when you're sharing your content. Pick a random person you don't know and say, so you all study different institutes or you're working. Ask one of your friends or colleagues or someone totally strange to you to sit and listen to you. What's going to happen if you're talking in front of someone strange? You're going to start getting comfortable with the environment and the situation. Aids and props. Sometimes when you use these, they give you a moment to breathe and it allows you to look at your audience in the eye. So when I picked this up, I was looking at everyone. So, okay, it's not my first time, so I wasn't shaking or something, but if you noticed, I was looking at all of you. I was trying to look at a familiar face to see that smile that, oh, I know what that is. Or just, you know, how Farhan mentioned the affirmation nod. So these are ways of calming yourself down as well when you're on stage, using props. The last VOC, I had a mask in my hand during the final closing. You can literally use a mask which you're standing behind, and that's your prop, which after removing you start talking, but it gives you a few moments of breathing on stage. You know, when the water overflows, you feel you're drowning, right? When it reaches that level. So you need to breathe and bring it down. A lot of us are just scared of the word stage. It's a lovely place, by the way. I love it. Okay? Time yourself. Time management is very, very important. Farhan mentioned it. I'm going to stress time management is so important, because when you start rushing through your points, you've lost us. And the first comment that any one of us would write is speeding through. And then when it comes to content delivery, understanding the message, impact, you will not be scoring what you truly deserve because you're going against time. So when you're practicing, really rehearse time. Honestly speaking, when anybody over here who's in charge of it picks up the paper to show that how much time you have, or the yellow or the red card that they usually use, my heart starts beating fast for you. And I went through that in December when I was talking at an autism conference, and I was given 20 minutes to present. And I know that someone would come and show me a paper with, okay, you have 5 minutes left. I had mentally prepared myself that I'm going to see it. I don't like seeing it, but I have to. And while I was talking, this gentleman comes and sits right in front of me holding the paper, and I just pretended not to see him, but I finished in 5 minutes because I knew as soon as I see him, I'll fumble for words. And I usually don't use aids. I don't hold anything. My PowerPoints get me through, but it's all in the mind. I can't rehearse and speak, right? So I pretended not to see him. Now, if you know that someone is there trying to show you something, you've seen it from the corner of your eye, start slowly winding down and reach, rather than, looking at the person and saying, I'm almost done. It comes naturally that, yeah, just 2 more minutes. When you come up here on stage, don't please do those things. The other speakers will talk about this, but remember not to fumble when you come up here, okay? Dress rehearsal. Now that sounds a little funny, right? Dress rehearsals is done when you're performing on stage for dramas or you call for a show. So I learned this through hard experience. I wanted to look really smart for one of the presentations. So I had my blazer, my trouser, and these big boots, thinking that I look super smart. Yes, I wear heels because I'm really tiny and short. That's why you don't know my age really. But I should have tried walking in those boots at least at home. What happens when I walk up the stage really smart? I trip, I fall. Not a nice way to start. Literally, quite literally. And the judges over there on that day, because yes, it was a talk show, were very humble and kind, and immediately they picked someone else to go up because I had hurt my ankle. But do you think I was confident enough to go up there and really deliver what I wanted to? I already felt that I was judged. I felt intimidated. And that's when maybe the other judges may not agree to that, but for me, dress rehearsals are very important. I mean, you could wear something fancy and every time you move your hand, it's getting stuck in a button, or you're wearing a ring that's so loose and it falls off, or the bracelet that's not allowing you to use your clicker. So you really need to do a dress rehearsal, a very strong point of view from my perspective. Yeah? And your speech parts, I will not touch on it because Farhan has already explained that. So, I'm going to talk about this. There was a mom and a baby camel. The camel was very, very curious with lots of questions. And he was sitting, and all of a sudden, Mom, why do we have 2 humps? The mother says, we live in deserts, so we need water. We store water in our humps. The baby was quiet for a few seconds. And then again, Mom, why do we have these long legs and such round feet? She's like, well, we live in deserts, so we need strong legs to be able to walk on sand and firm feet so we can walk firm. Again, the baby is quiet. Mom, why do we have such long eyelashes which actually get in the way? It disturbs and hurts at times. The mom says, well, in the desert, it's windy. The sand will blow and the eyelashes shield our eyes from the sand. Now there was silence for almost a minute. And then the baby says, well, if all these are for the desert, why are we in the zoo? Why are we in the zoo? What this is actually teaching us is today, you will be given so many skills. You will be packed with so much of ability. The camels also have things which are allowing them to do things, skills, abilities that they need to use, but in the right place, which is the desert. They need to use it at the right time, when it's windy. When they're thirsty, they need the water. When they need to walk, they need the legs. So you're going home today with so many skills. You will be unlocking potential inside you. We're giving you so much today. It is your choice to use what we're giving to you today in the right way, at the right time. It is up to you to take today what you need from each one of us to unleash your hidden talent. I will leave you to think what your hidden talent is, what you're here to unleash, and what you're going to take home today. All right? Thank you.